What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chip Chat and Chill. This is your midweek millennial foodie recess. We catch up on good pop culture, good conversation. We grow, but we laugh in between, and we like to talk about food and great finds. This, whatever the flavor of the week is, we're going to talk about it tonight or today, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are at this point. It's nighttime right now.
It's nighttime.
Um, I have on a very, very good friend of mine. And when I start talking about how long I've known people, I start dating my head and I feel like, dang, are we really that ancient? I'm not gonna do that. We've been friends for a really good long time.
A
A
while,
good a
quite a
good
while.
chunk of
A
time.
good chunk of time. There
A
you
good
go.
time of a good chunk of adulthood. How about that?
There you go.
We've all been growing together. We've grown through marriage together, friendship together, parenting together. He's an accomplished musician, accomplished husband and father, and just a great, well-rounded friend, also fellow podcaster. Please welcome to the show today, Charles Lamont.
Hey,
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here with you. Yeah.
I am honored that you made time in your very busy schedule for
Oh
me to
man.
just chat about life
Uh,
and how it imitates music and vice
hmm
versa. And
I'm honored. Honored to be here. For real. For
I
real.
couldn't think of a more suited person to have just a great conversation with.
Oh man.
So, getting into this great thing called music, I would say for me, it is definitely the backdrop to my life.
Mm,
I think it's hilarious the way it has been interwoven and integrated into a lot of the things that we do on social media. If you pay attention to the things I do in my stories, first of all, you're going to laugh because that's just me.
oh yeah. I laugh every time.
At the top of your day, I'm going to make you laugh. At the bottom of the day, when you're done, I have this little thing called night night. I got to end the day with a laugh. I say night night. And I find the most hilarious things as I scroll down my timeline. I'm like, I have to share it, like, and not be Beyonce's internet. Like, y'all are crazy out there. And so I just share it because it just be the funniest, or it just may just be the things that are happening in my house. There's
Hmm.
never a dull moment in my house. If you have ever visited the DeRochers, you're like, why do you guys have television? You guys are just natural comedic timed entertainment, just brilliance. There's no script. It's just pure life.
And
So
the crazy thing is, as long as we've known each other, you know that we haven't been to you guys' house yet.
now the worst part of that is your kids and your wife have beat you to my house
Oh
because the
wow.
last time the kids were all together,
Hmm. Hmm.
Soraya had just turned one. It was her first birthday party here at the house.
Oh yikes! See, I didn't even know that.
I had a whole nother child since then.
Okay,
So we're gonna make that happen.
yeah, we
I'm
got to make that
claim it.
happen.
I'm gonna name it and claim it. We will have a different address by the time you are
Ah,
able to make it.
Shama. Whoa, whoa. Shit.
Ishkatai. I'm gonna claim it because the Lord knows I like to host.
You're so churchy.
Right.
I love it.
Can't run from it. Can't run from it. We
Mm-mm.
are.
Hmm.
But the Lord knows, He knows my heart. I love to host. I love to entertain things. And I'm just like, we have more people than house now, honestly. And as a mother, I just feel like y'all be right here all the time. So it's time to go. It's time to go. But yes, I'm gonna name it and claim it. You guys are gonna be in
Yes,
the
it
new
is.
Deroche compound.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
nonetheless, I am ecstatic and proud of the things that have transpired between all four of us as
Hmm.
we to adultship and later stages of our lives. And I've
Hmm.
got to say, in recent times, I will say when it comes to the Grammys, this is my pop culture grievance for now.
Hmm.
I'm going to ask the question to you.
Okay.
Just get your honest opinion.
Hmm.
Are the Grammys still Grammy worthy? Are they still as big a deal as they have always been believed or perceived to be?
I personally think that it's still a big deal. However, people don't aspire to have them as much as they did at one time. Yeah, because at one point it all made sense. It was like, okay, you get your Grammy, you get a bigger following, and then you have, a a better tour that you can go on because now you have a Grammy attached to your name, blah blah blah. Nowadays, because of social media and people doing things on their own, it's like I don't really need validation from anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that thing. But for me personally, I've been on, involved in projects that's been nominated a couple times, but never won. And that's just something that, because I come from that era of Grammys being a big deal and always having that vision of Michael Jackson having all those Grammys, we come from
Mhm,
that era. So it's just like,
mhm.
it's almost like that's something you want to accomplish. And Grammys are basically your peers voting for you, like getting the approval of of your peers in the music industry, because that's what it is, because it's not open to the public to vote. It's based on your network
Yeah,
within the music industry, and your friends voting for you, basically, or people that like you vote for you
yeah,
if they're voters. So um and because that's kind of catching on even more, people starting to understand that more.
right,
That kind of sucks the air out of the worth of a Grammy, because people
right,
understand how it works now. You know
right,
what I mean? Like they
right.
have a better understanding of how it works. But yeah, for that reason, I think it's still cool. But I just believe at the beginning and at the end of the day, you just make the music for you and for your people and for the people that, for the love of music and for the people that you're assigned to. You know what I mean? That at the end of the day, if those people are pleased and you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're touching the lives you're supposed to touch, that's better than any Grammy or any award. So,
I feel the same way. I think
hmm
the excitement of it for me, in
hmm
my own opinion, has dwindled the older I've gotten
hmm
because certain artists or certain even genres even have gone and veered off so far left
hmm
until it didn't become about the core of it to me, which was the great art and appreciation of what true music is. It's a
hmm
bridge, it's a blanket of a uniting tool.
hmm
And for me, it just got away from that and became a lot more about the show business aspect of,
Oh yeah.
how well can I perform or how many likes can I get or
hmm
what headline can I hit the next morning. I think for
hmm
me, like you were saying, because people are now understanding more how it works behind the scenes,
hmm
for you, if you are an artist, it does make a big deal to get that validation from your peers
hmm
openly on a big platform. I do still agree that it's still important.
hmm
I'll add even that getting the validation and support and the encouragement from your peers on a big platform like the Grammys is even more important than having the backing of a record label.
Oh yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
were saying, like many independent artists have found ways and become ingenuitive and creative where they don't need the support and the backing of a record label, where they're doing monumental accomplishments all on their own. And I think it's
hmm
amazing.
Yeah.
Eons ago, when I didn't want to be an artist, that was kind of what I wanted to do. In my
Mm.
mind, I was like, I want to do my own thing in my own lane. Maybe that's the Aquarius in me. I don't like people putting me in a box and giving me a whole bunch of rules.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Understand.
gonna break them,
Understand.
or I'm gonna edit them, and I'm gonna add addendums, and I'm gonna
You're
take
right.
that. This is how this is going to go. So yeah, I was never supposed to be an artist under
Mm,
anybody's record
mm,
label, but
mm,
for
mm.
that, I would definitely be warm and proud and feel accomplished if I knew my peers were, on paper believing in me and pushing to make
Mhm,
sure that I got the notoriety and attention that my artistry and my craft deserved. So I
mhm,
think to that degree, I would have probably been more excited about it if it were truly about that every year
mm,
and that
mm,
mindset was put in and they curate and they come with the whole show.
mhm.
But that's another show. We
Yeah,
have
but
more to talk about.
yeah, yeah, you're right. But like the thing is, it's always been like that. It's just the more knowledgeable we become, that is just like it's like, oh, that's what this is. Okay, so now I have to decide whether or not I want to play the game or
Yes,
if I want to do something different.
that's it.
So that's what happens.
That's completely it.
We find out later on what it is. When you're young and you got stars in your eyes, it's just
Yes.
it's different because it's all about the past. It's all about the music. It's all about making your speech to your mom and telling her thank you and telling you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
that whole thing, that's what it's about, because that's what you see. We grew up, watching award shows and seeing our favorites do this whole thing. So it's just like, that's what I want. I want to be able to do that one day. You know what I mean? But then you get deep in the business, you get 30 years in, and then you're like, okay.
It takes the excitement out of
let me
it.
let me move in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you still love it, and you find the excitement, in it, and just make your own, like you say, make your own rules at a certain point to that it can be fulfilling for you. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
I'm
like you said, that's another story for another time.
we can
Yeah,
go on and on about
yeah,
that.
exactly,
I'm
exactly.
glad you said that though, because I'm honestly, if I'm corny, so be it. I'll be it. I still get excited to, it's probably one of my most favorite parts, to hear the acceptance speeches. And
Yeah,
then also when we used to have CDs with jackets and photos,
and read the
looking at the
credits.
thank, that used to be my favorite part. The credits
Yes,
and the thank yous and the that I
yes.
still to this day will go back to some of my favorite albums and look at,
Mm-hmm.
the artistry and the well curated together photos, and
Mm-hmm.
who had all the credits on the tracks, and looking at the, thank you, shout out to the, that that's what it
Yeah,
is for me.
that's
So
that's the joy of music, and I think it's kind of getting back to that with these next generations,
yeah.
because like vinyl has made a big comeback. They're even there. Some people are even going as far as cassettes for merch and stuff like that nowadays. You know what I mean? So it's a whole thing. It's just time always repeats itself. But yeah, so it's kind of getting back to that. Thankfully, you know what I mean. People really falling in love with music, and creating those moments like we're going to talk about, like the moments that kind of define your life, and the soundtrack of your walk through life. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's getting back to it. Yeah.
It.
Hmm.
Oh, before we get into it,
Hmm.
we chat and chill, chip,
Hmm.
chat and chill. We're foodies, lunch and learn. So we bring on snacks and drinks and stuff. I
Hmm.
have not had but maybe one glass of one of my favorite. It's a winter drink for me, but
Hmm.
tonight I felt like a little hot cocoa with a
Oh,
little
nice.
So I gave up dairy. I like to put a little bit of almond or coconut milk in it. I have hot cocoa with some coconut milk and some non-dairy coconut whipped cream, which is amazing. You don't miss the dairy. It is so good.
Wow. Okay.
And a sidecar of joy, one of my favorites. Wait for it. Mr. Bailey, Sir Bailey
All
tonight.
right. Come on, little
Shout
Mr.
out to
Bailey.
Mr. Bailey.
Shout out to Mr. Bailey's. I love the eyes.
Ah, cheers, you guys.
Cheers. I just have nothing really. It's just some juice. I didn't. I
Come
told you I
on,
was gonna make
class.
it. I told you I was gonna make it look like it was something.
You did your
Uh,
good curating. You
I
did. You did your good.
I did I do okay?
You
It's
did
a
your good
little okay.
craftsmanship. Yes.
So I got a little ice in there and some sparkling water juice
Yes.
type thing, because I didn't get a chance to go to the to the Joy store
Joyce.
before
Yes.
we got started. But my normal drink of choice is I've just kind of transitioned into tequilas.
Okay.
I used to be a bourbon guy. Um
I know.
and one of my friends was just like, yo, bourbons are, it's full of sugar, this, that, and the third, and the
Really?
hangovers, yeah, the hangovers and all that kind of stuff, right? So I was like, yeah, that's true, but it just depends on how much you drink, right? Anything, even
Yes.
tequila. But
Right.
tequila, um, is good tequila. It's agave, it's no sugar, and
Hmm.
I never really drink blanco. I'm a reposado or a anejo guy. So with anejo, it's so similar to bourbon because it's
Yes.
it's dark. So
Yeah.
I really like sipping on that. I get like I'm not really a big mezcal person because it's a little too smoky for me.
Gotcha.
But I love anejo and repos. Brand wise, Azul and my other favorite, Don Julio 42,
Oh yay.
1942.
Yes.
Yeah, those are my go tos. If someone has Casamigos, it's cool, but I'll do like the anejo of Casamigos. But that's my sip thing. I can sip on that and be all right.
I
Yep.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
And it would be so disrespectful for me to throw it away. It's the only reason why I've committed to eating just a little bit of it.
What's that?
I have some some red velvet cake.
Go for it.
Listen, I froze it and forgot it was in the freezer.
Oh,
And it was nestled safely, wrapped up so nicely. I was like, I can't waste it.
you can't. Not red velvet. Mm-mm.
But this, no,
Mm-mm. That's
uh,
very disrespectful if you
very.
waste. Yeah.
Shout out to all the husbands who have to do house projects and to the wives who add to those projects.
I'm gonna just put a chip in my mouth.
Shout out to my friend Ray. Ray, Ray. I got your back, girl.
Mm-mm.
So let's get into it.
Yes.
Now, I think when I hear, first of all, let me ask the icebreaker, what is your favorite, or if you have more than one, it's fine. What is your favorite decade of music?
Mm.
What era?
I mean, of course, for me, I can't go without saying the '90s era. Um, but my decades, it's for different reasons, of course. But as far as my experience, I would say the '90s. The '80s, I was a little bit too young to really, really understand it, but it did make an impact on my life. You know what I mean? I was 10 in the '80s, but but still, it was just like I couldn't really live it. You know what I mean? But in the '90s, I was getting a little older. You know what I mean? I was high school. That whole thing. So that made it a lot more special. So the '80s and '90s, I would say, are my two favorite decades of music as far as having a story to go along with it. Yeah, '80s and
I
'90s.
think I feel the same. 80s for sure. Like I will
Hmm.
play anything from the 80s like it just came out today. I've
Yeah.
loved. And I'm right back where I was.
Hmm.
I'm right back in the car with my mom riding to the mall on the weekend, or
Hmm.
I'm on the school bus, or
Hmm.
Saturday morning cleanup music,
Hmm.
or the laundromat. Oh my gosh. I have so
Hmm.
many laundromat memories, but it just takes me back. And sometimes I'm like, I had no business singing some of this stuff.
Oh,
Now I'm like, bruh, what?
what?
You hadn't missed any part of life. You had just gotten here. What are you doing, Zakia? But
Hmm.
it just, like we were saying a couple days ago, like it's just there was a vibe. You couldn't put a name or a title to it, but you felt those
Hmm.
artists made you feel,
Absolutely.
and you kind of like invested your emotion and your thought to what they had to say. Not
Hmm.
only did they make you move, like 80s and 90s, hear they coin the phrase all the time. If it's not 90s R&B, I don't want it. But it's
Right,
like,
right.
yo, they were like
Hmm.
living it up. Boy
Yes.
bands, girl bands, or girl groups and boy groups, like it
Hmm.
was the jam. Jodeci, SWV, En Vogue, Jade. Those were some really good
Man,
times.
Brownstone. What is it?
Brownstone,
Brownstone.
H
S-
Town,
Right, H Town.
Silk. Oh God.
What's the other one? Let Me Come Inside. Uh,
Ah, ah.
well, you had Troop too.
Yep.
What's the
As
name of the group?
yet, Boys to
Boys
Men.
to Men. Come on, man.
Man, we had some good stuff.
Some good stuff.
I remember when. Do you remember or recall your first like real core memory experience with loss, disappointment and shame? And if you do, like, what would have been like the song that made you feel like this is how I feel?
So my first experience with that was I was in junior high school, or maybe I was in high school by then. I think I was in junior high school.
Mhm.
And the girl that I liked, I think we might have been talking, I can't remember. Anyway, she ended up with somebody else. But my song that hit me the most was BBD, Tell Me When Will I See You Smile Again.
Oh,
That song.
no.
Tell me.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway.
Shout out to every 90s
Yeah.
singer that did the
Yeah.
nehu.
Yeah, so
Oh.
yeah, so Tell Me When Will I See You Smile Again. And then it was another song on that album. I actually wrote out all the lyrics to that song. It was one of the other ballads. I can't remember. It might have been that ballad, but I wrote out all the lyrics in, like, I think I even said it was BBD or whatever at the end or whatever, and like gave it to her. But I like
Oh
took my
my
time.
goodness.
I was I was such a corny romantic when I was
Yes,
younger.
Notes. I remember Notes.
I was terrible. I've been used and abused now. I'm just kidding. But believe me, I did some abusing too. Um, but yeah, that was my first heartbreak, like, lost song. Yeah.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
What was yours?
I'm trying to remember.
Do you remember?
Let's see. When I called so and so my little boyfriend or whatever. No, I remember. Let's see, like my first core memory. Shout out to the Miss Anita Baker,
Mm.
who I adore.
Yeah, of course.
Did she retweet me? She retweeted me, and
Are
I
you
almost passed out. I was like,
Mother Baker?
Mother Baker.
Oh
I was
my
like,
goodness.
little me, he's talking to me.
Yikes.
I had tweeted because someone was on. I remember. Okay, so my core memory is 90s video music box in Brooklyn. We used to watch that every weekend on public television. It was
Mm-hmm.
probably BCAT, I think. And they used to play her video for No Fairy Tales. And
Mm.
I was enamored with it, like the
Mm-hmm.
visuals and the little girl music video,
Mm-hmm.
lyrics and her voice and her I was every time that video came on, it just captivated me. And I
Mm.
can remember that whole entire album.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, even when I got married, I could appreciate that album even more. I'm like, oh
Mm.
my goodness, this is what she was talking about. But I think someone was talking about it and I chimed in. I was like, yeah, I still get back to the same little girl I was when I first used to listen to it. And she reposted it. I was like, oh,
Wow.
oh, glory.
Wow.
She knows.
Wow. Mother Baker.
Mother Baker. So if she
Mm,
ever
mm,
watches this, I love you, Miss Anita.
We
That
love
made
you.
my day. What? That
Mm.
one, No Fairy Tale. And it's one of my first core memories of music like impacting me, like me really
Mm.
being engaged and trying to tap in.
Mm.
That's one of the songs. And oh my goodness, this is one of my dad's favorite songs. What is his name? It's actually kind of like a melancholy song, but when I was like 7 or 8, I just fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is it? And when I found that it was a white guy that sang, oh, what is his name? Okay, see, he's one of our blue-eyed soul singers.
You talking about James Taylor?
Name
Or
a
Michael
James Taylor
McDonald?
song.
Or Michael
Nope,
McDonald?
not Michael McDonald.
James Taylor. Who else would it be?
Oh my
Not
gosh.
Phil Collins, right?
Nope. It's gonna bug me.
James
Bug
Taylor
me.
was my guy. James Taylor and Donny Hathaway. They made me fall in love with music. Like Donny Hathaway, for all we know. That was my song that was
For
like, oh,
sure.
okay, yeah, I want to be a musician for the rest of my life.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna have to circle back to that. That's gonna bug me
Mm.
for the rest of the night.
Oh, well, it definitely
So,
wasn't James Taylor then, because James Taylor
mm-mm,
sounded like a white guy.
uh-uh. Okay. But one of his one song was one of my core memories. But with if we want to talk about breakup or disappointment, this takes
Mm.
me back to high school.
Mm.
And if you know, you know. Yeah. A lot of my peers from high school listen to the so if you know, you know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, ninth grade. Do a Sophia Golden Girls picture it. Ninth grade. So this guy I had befriended,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to claim I was his shorty, whatever.
Mm.
And he decided he wanted to two-time me.
Mm.
And the girl he two-timed me with played along with him. They both call themselves trying to play me. Oh yeah, that's my cousin. Uh-huh. So they playing in cahoots
Oh,
like, yeah, we're cousins. But really they were, messing with each other. I
yikes.
find out he didn't know the strength of an Aquarius, he learned it when he got with me. Cause I
Woo.
didn't let him get away. I said, okay, cool. Well, we're done. Um, not only are we done, the following day, I confronted him in a class note. I think it was like 4 pages front and back.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Get it all out. I
Mm.
had time to
Mm.
think.
Mm.
Do you know? Because I think we had what was it, like 7 periods in high school, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
I gave it to him first period. By fourth period, about half of our class had seen the letter because he had passed it. I think he was probably in shock that I had, gotten
Wrote it.
yeah. He had passed it around like
He passed
and
it
every
around.
after every class I came out of, they like, yo, Zakia, what? He messed with the wrong ones. Think of that, and then I think of a song like
Wait,
I don't
wait,
know why I
wait,
think
wait.
of
Before you go to the song,
uh
what was in that letter that was so?
just of it is
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't have tried me. I'm
Oh.
nobody's dummy.
Mm.
You had no right to play me. You had no
Mm-hmm.
reason to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't quite wish you well right now.
Mm.
I'm just gonna let you sit with all of my thoughts.
Mm.
I
Mm.
probably, because
Mm.
it was a lot of things. It was, him talking to me on the phone, and you know how y'all do. He was trying to get in my pants. I was like,
Yeah, of
nah,
course. Mm-hmm.
happening. He
Mm-hmm.
even tried to hit me with the I love you. I'm like, we've only been getting to know each other for like 3 weeks. I was like, okay,
Like, cut it out.
you love me? I love you too. So why don't you let me make love? Spell it. Okay.
Oh
Go
my
on something
god.
with that. So I guess because that didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to pull all the punches. It was just the time,
Mm.
him buying me lunch and, walking me to class. Like I'm just all taking up all of his attention when I really wasn't. So I was like, oh, you
Mm.
really thought you really had me. Oh, okay, cool.
Mm.
Bet.
Mm. Mm.
So when I think of that, I think of this is gonna be so funny. I think of because it was popular at that time. Don't judge me. I think of Genuine and Nas. You owe me. Owe me back like you owe your
Uh,
tax. What? Yep.
hilarious. Okay, that's great.
Funny, right? Yeah.
I was not expecting that song.
You wasn't.
Mm-mm.
You would
That was
not.
great.
The two don't. But yo,
Yeah.
think about it.
That's amazing.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember when. Yeah, those
I
are some
remember
funny
when.
times. Music will take you right back
Mm-hmm.
in that pocket of time, I have nostalgia, like sensory memory is one of those things that are very real to me,
Mm.
even to the point where when I smell a certain dish or a snack or food, or if I taste
Mm-hmm.
something, I could be like, oh my goodness. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Kroger, who recently started stocking clearly Canadian sparkling water again.
Really?
Or not again, but like, yes, the I had when I found it, I was like,
What?
Are you kidding? I did a double take. I was like, this is real. I'm really looking at. Yep, they had the cherry, blackberry, and peach. I think and cherry. Yep.
Oh my God.
Not only did I stumble upon that recently, I recently stumbled upon tropical fantasy. I was like, these used to be 50 cents in the corner store. What are we
Oh my
doing?
God.
The label looks completely different, but they brought it back. But it
Oh
takes
my
you
God.
back to like I can instantly hear, you know, Spanish, Puerto Rican bodega music in the background.
Uh-huh.
Every time I hear, I'm like, I used to get that
hmm
and some Uncle Jesse's peanuts
Uh-huh.
and my Utz chips or my Bonton chips. I'm like, yo, this is taking me back. But music
Yeah.
will do that to
hmm
you, and it's crazy
hmm
when you think about not just the bad stuff, but even like the good stuff. If you could think of something that would unite yourself with your family during the holiday season, what's you guys' favorite like go to? Like what would be
Um,
on your playlist for a holiday season
it can
growing up?
be it's anything. Oh, growing up.
Yeah.
Um, growing up, it was anything EWF,
Oh,
anything. I mean, you could just put on anything Earth, Wind, and Fire, and we just all the way in,
say
you
less.
know, and Michael Jackson all the way
Yes.
in.
Yes.
So it was those two artists, you know what I mean? Like it was a no-brainer. It was just like, oh, you feeling down? Okay. Bump 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 dum 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 do you remember? Or whatever, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
that those I mean, even now in our house now, like Earth, Wind, and Fire, like the kids, they know everything Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're heavy as far as old school. They're heavy New Edition heads though. They love,
Really?
yeah, the
I
kids,
love that.
they love New Edition, especially since the movie came out and stuff. And they saw the story, the whole thing. So
So
they're
now they can
New
relate, now they
Edition heads. Yeah.
understand.
hmm
Yeah. That
Yeah,
is
they're
so
New Edition
dope.
heads. Yeah, yeah. But you said something with clearly Canadian. You just made me think. Um, so with clearly Canadian, we found it at, was it the World? What is the World Market? What's the name of that store?
Oh, Cost Plus World Market?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what it's
Okay.
called. And we found some clearly Canadian in there, and I instantly, when I when I had some, it took me right back to DC when I was a kid, and I was junior high around that time, and we was I remember having a clearly Canadian in one hand. Me and my boy William Coates, we used to call him Cody. We was walking through our neighborhood. I had a boom box, a clearly Canadian, and we were playing F the Police NWA.
Charles Garner.
That happened in real life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was loud. It was F the police coming straight. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That's how you was feeling?
that's how we was feel. I mean, it was new. Like that was gangster rap was a new thing.
Yeah,
That was
it was.
NWA coming straight out of like that whole thing, Easy E, and I was like, what
Yeah.
is this? And I'm from South Carolina, but I was living in DC during that time. Um,
Right.
so everything there is go-go, you know what I'm saying? So it's just
Yes.
like everything is go-go. So when that happened, it was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, for the world, that's what happened. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Mission accomplished. That's exactly why they did it
Yep.
and how it
Mission
became such a big
accomplished.
deal. Yeah. And
Exactly.
to this day, you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
forget it now.
Mm-hmm. And you go back and listen to what they were saying when they were 16 and 17, 18, like they were kids.
Yes.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Now, when you think about that, 15 and 16 were
Mm-hmm.
like F the police. There are so many songs I could think of when we were that age and even younger. Now that you're an adult, you're like, I had no business singing
No
that.
business. No business. Because that
Who?
that whole incident that I'm telling you about, I was 11.
And I still
So,
remember
mhm,
11-ish, 9, 10, 11-ish,
mhm.
when Color Me Bad came out with I Want to Sex You Up. Bruh.
And it was huge.
Ooh, I'm like,
And we was singing the crap out of that song.
ma'am.
Yep. Yeah, I
I,
ain't too proud to beg. I need it in the morning, in the middle. I ain't too what?
roughneck. Yep.
Yep. All that.
So many.
Gotta what? Gotta get a who? Yep.
Right.
Yeah. It
Even
was
Rex in effect.
Rex in the
Shake your rump.
right. Bum shake it.
Check, baby, check,
check,
baby.
baby.
One,
That's
two,
a
three, four. Check,
no check,
baby.
baby. Oh God.
And my stepdaddy let me sing that. Jesus.
Hmm.
The pastor let me sing that.
Oh yeah. It was bad. That's why I like now. I mean, they get a little extreme nowadays. I can't
For
even
sure.
lie.
For sure.
However, for the era and for the time and for the generation, it was the same thing as us.
We did it.
We did it first. It's
We
just
were a
like
little bit more discreet,
right. We were very discreet, but for that
especially with
time,
R&B. But
but before that time, it was just like the people, the generations before us, listening to what we were listening to was like, what is that garbage? What are y'all listening to? We're like, whatever. You know what I mean? Same thing for them. It's just like, what is this? Why are
right.
y'all listening? What are y'all? You know what I mean? And yeah, yeah, it's
But even
different.
if you run back to 70s, Charles, Studio 54 era,
Come on, man.
P Funk, George Clinton,
Come
and
on, man.
the Isley brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Now I'm grown. I was like, that's what I was singing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And even like, I love me some Shaka Khan. Tell me something good.
Mm-hmm.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yep.
I'm like, bruh.
Exactly. They were about that life.
Yes,
Them
unapologetically.
artists, them 70s artists, they didn't have a whole lot of paparazzi.
No,
They definitely didn't have no social media and all that kind of stuff.
no.
So it was like they were out of here. Like if you
Yeah.
knew, you knew, but if you didn't, you would never know. You would never know unless somebody told you a story.
Yeah, you would probably clutch your pearls today if you were like,
They did what?
they were. Oh my
Oh,
God.
because they said Rick James was
Only got a taste in public.
man,
Tina
right?
Marie,
Well,
all of them. That
all of
era,
them.
they didn't care.
Mm-mm,
It just was
mm-mm.
what it was. They made great moments happen in music.
Yes,
And the lights went off.
a lot, a lot of
Life was
cocaine,
life. Listen,
a lot of cocaine, a lot of sex,
yeah,
a lot of everything. And they were young though, but you got to think about that too. They were 19,
right,
20.
right.
Yeah. So
DeBarge, Switch,
yes.
and I love them to death. If I could, that's another question. If
Hmm.
you could put together, because I
Hmm.
know I would love today to put Switch together and go, or put DeBarge all together. I
Hmm.
would be in heaven. I would be in music heaven just to see them perform.
Oh my God,
That would be great.
man! Like a
Even
concert.
like, yeah, even like some of these female artists that have gone before us, and I mean, what was her name? Minnie Riperton.
Oh my God.
Her lyrics too. Back down memory lane.
Yeah, man.
And I
Like,
think that was one of her last songs she got to record and release before she passed. But
oh, I didn't
yeah,
realize that. Oh wow,
yeah,
wow. Yeah, those are some special moments in music, especially in our culture, because there's a lot of people outside of our culture don't know those artists, because
no,
because I'm I tour and play with different people where like if I'm with P and them, like that's all my people, but if
yeah,
I'm with some other artists, I'm the only black person there,
right.
so I'll say something or reference something and it's just like
It
they have
don't
no
land.
clue, or they
Yep.
or vice versa. They know all these bands. Like we'd be at these festivals and stuff,
Mhm.
and I mean like nice festivals, like festivals that's been around for a long time, and they're like, yo, this band is gonna be here, that band is gonna be here, blah blah blah, and I'm like, who? you know, and they're like Charles, who do you want to see at this festival? I'm like,
All of them. I
Everybody,
guess.
you
I
know,
love everybody.
I love everybody. I'm willing to learn. I'm still learning bands. So, and I really am. I've been put on to so many different bands, and like
Right.
some of these festivals we went to, and it's a lot of bands that's there that I knew about, like Krungbin and like Hiatus Coyote and those type bands. That's super. I don't know if you know those bands at all, but if you don't, you'd love them. You would
Yeah.
definitely love them. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I I trust you.
hmm
Now, if you could put together your very own original lineup for a festival or a fest, a concert, conference, workshop, whatever,
hmm hmm
dead or alive,
hmm
both, who would be on the list?
hmm
What would they collab and recreate? Where would it be? What would you put together?
All right. I do a 1 day festival.
Hmm.
No, I do a 2 day festival. I do a 2 day festival, and for the first day, I would have. All right, for the I have four major acts each day. The four major acts for the first day would be, who would it be opening up? I'd have, shoot. Okay, I start with the barge.
Mm.
I let the barge warm the stage up. No, no, no.
Mhm.
Take that back. I have James Taylor warm the stage up. I have him start. Then I'll go to Joni Mitchell after him, and then I'll switch it real quick, and I'll do the barge, and then closing out that night, I would have somebody like Marvin Gaye close out that night. Um, the second night, the Saturday, I'll have um, Donny Hathaway open. I'll start the day with Donny Hathaway. Then I'll go to, oh, shoot. Um, I have Donny Hathaway, Anita Baker. This would have to be a longer festival. Um, Anita Baker, Earth, Wind and Fire, and then have Michael Jackson close out. I don't know. I have to
I
have
would
a
need an
couple
I
different tents. This would have to be. It
man. I
might
was
have to
gonna
be
say
a
I would
three
need an
three day
ID.
festival with a bunch of, man. Listen, that would
That would fill me up so
those
good.
those would be the major acts. That would be the major acts, but like smaller stages and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or other stages, you'd have like, I have like Prince, of course.
Oh, I miss him so much.
Um, yeah, man, like Prince, Roger Troutman and Zap. Uh, so many. It's so many. It's a Confunction.
Man, you ain't
Uh,
said nothing but a word.
you know what I'm
I get my
saying?
ticket
Like
now.
just
Oh my
like
gosh.
just like some of the heaviest hitting, just good time, just yeah, wear the same thing all 3 days. Just
Yep.
be
Good time.
a man.
I want to go now. That would be a good
A
time. I would
good
off for that
time.
for like a whole 6 months.
Oh man, listen. Oh my god. Yes.
I got
Yes.
I got the song.
What is it?
What you won't
Oh,
do for
that's
love. You tried everything,
that
but you
is
don't give
give
up. Bobby Caldwell.
Bobby Caldwell.
What you won't
Yep.
do for love.
Yep. White dude.
Bruh, that song But I fell in love with that song, man.
Mm,
I would have Bobby Caldwell.
mm-hmm,
I would have Switch and DeBarge.
mm-hmm,
I would have Aretha.
mm,
And I would probably make a girl group or a ladies tribute group for just this festival. I would have
mm,
Anita Baker,
mm,
Aretha Franklin,
mm,
Mickey Howard,
mm.
and it's right there. Uh, um, I throw many Ripperton in there, but there's another
Mm-hmm.
one. I would throw a girl group, and I would have them collab and redo some songs as a group,
Oh my God.
and then I would have Michael,
Mm-hmm.
Prince, Joe Thomas,
Mm.
and there's a young guy, a Lucky Day. I would have them all collab
Yes.
and do like how they do the renditions. They may do like tributes for award shows. I would
Uh-huh.
have them all do some renditions together. That would boy,
Oh my God.
that would be my dream
Oh my
festival.
God. That would be, oh my God.
Yeah, I could go to Charles's concert for 2 days and then y'all swing over Brookline. I would be good for the rest of my life. I would need nothing else for the
Yeah.
rest of my life.
Yo, Lucky Day he's
He does
special.
not miss.
He's special. I was working one music fest the year that he came. That was the same year Lil Wayne, not this past one, but the one before.
Right, yeah.
And yo, they sound check was bananas.
I could
That was the
imagine.
same year. So that year it was what was there? Big Boy. It was Big Boy. That was the year Kirk was there. Um Lucky Day, her,
Yes.
um the Isley Brothers.
I remember that. I wanted to go so bad. Yeah, that
I
was a
was
beastie
standing,
lineup. Whoever lined that up,
I
they
was
curated that
standing
immaculately.
right behind Calvin on when they was doing that set. And I was just like looking at the Isleys and just like, this is nuts. Like and you kind of forget how many hits people have
Yeah.
until you see them in concert. I
Yeah.
remember one year I was out with India and we did Essence Fest. And we came on, we basically we opened up for Diana Ross, right? Diana Ross. I knew you it's like you say Diana Ross and you know, but I didn't know no. I didn't know as well as I knew, as well as I thought I knew. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, oh, like all night long. It was just like, what? Like
It hit way different.
hits, it was boom, boom, boom. It was
Yeah.
like you don't realize how many hits she has until you see her live. And that was
Yeah.
my first and only time seeing this was in 2016, I believe, 2016 or 2017, something like that. But that concert was amazing.
I could imagine.
Diana Ross,
I could imagine.
it
She
was
is
crazy.
walking royalty.
Yeah, she's
Mm.
royalty, dog. Like she sucks the air out. She came to our dressing room to see India, and I swear, like she just sucked the air out of the room, dog. It was just like in the best way possible. Like
Right,
I
right.
couldn't even I didn't even say. I was just like,
I love
I didn't
it.
even say nothing. It was just like because she came, she came, and her daughter Tracy was there with her,
Yeah.
and it's just like, and I'm a big Tracy Ellis fan, but her mom was there, so it's just like, okay, Diana's daughter is, it's like that kind of thing. But
Right.
and she this little, she's
Oh,
short and she's just,
wow.
petite and just like, but huge. She's just big, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she came in there and was hugging on India and was loving on her, and so I was like, yo, Diana Ross was just in here. Like she floated away. Like
That just
she
happened.
whisked. She didn't
Yeah.
float like Prince. She whisked away. Like she just kind of, you know, yeah,
I love
evaporated
that.
or whatever. But she
She ascended.
yeah, she ascended. Yeah, but Diana Ross is yeah, yeah, she's one
I
of them
love
ones.
that.
She's one of them ones, boy.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Anyway, yeah, it's a blessing to still have some of them around still. You know what I mean? Like,
It really is.
you know what I mean? Like even Stevie Wonder, like he's still here. Like
How did I forget Mr. Steveland, bruh?
I don't know how I miss Stevie Wonder either, but yeah, Stevie.
Before
Mm-hmm.
the breath leaves my body, I want
Mm.
to see him in person. I want to have lunch with Stevie. I,
You will. You
oh
already
my,
put it out there. You put it out there.
I adore him. Speaking of like
Yeah.
go tos, we were talking about nostalgia and holiday like go tos.
Mm-hmm.
Every holiday without fail, and I have trained up my children in the way that they should go. I always play
Mm-hmm.
his Christmas album,
Oh yeah, there it is.
Little
Mm-hmm.
Stevie. I
Mm-hmm.
love. Oh my gosh, I adore that man. And
Mm-hmm.
I play Stevie's album along with a couple other favorites, and I always, 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 always watch The Wiz. Diana.
Oh.
No one. Not granted, Stephanie Mills is a great artist in her right. No one can
Mm-hmm.
sing When I Think of Home like her, but it's something about watching Diana when
Diana
she
singing.
comes full circle in the movie, and
Uh-huh.
she sings that with everything. I feel
You
it
feel it.
every time.
Man, listen.
I love that movie.
That movie is
No one else could have done Dorothy like the Diana Ross.
the Diana
I
Ross.
watch it every holiday
The
season.
Diana Ross. Oh my god. And speaking of Stevie, like I saw I met him one time a couple of years ago.
Mm,
And it was kind of like a backstage meet and greet type thing.
yeah.
But I got a chance to meet him last year because he came to PJ's show in San Diego.
Hmm.
And and he was like he's so funny. But he was gonna come to the LA show, but he couldn't come to the LA show. He FaceTime PJ, by
When
the way.
PJ talks about these FaceTime calls, I crack up every
Yeah.
time.
He literally FaceTimed him and told him, he said, I can't come to the show tonight. Look, I'm at this wedding. Look where, like that kind of thing. That's hilarious. But anyway, so he came to the San Diego show, and I knew he was coming. Like he called P while we was on our way to the venue, and he's like, "Oh, you coming?" Blah blah blah. He said, "Yeah." So he came down there. Him and his assistant and his wife, they drove down, and I knew they were coming. Like I knew they were coming. So it was just like, okay, they coming. Okay, cool. What I didn't know is that they were gonna sit them like right where my station was, my percussion station was, like right there. I saw them bringing out 3 chairs, and I was just like, "What's happening here?" Like that type thing. But then him and his wife and his assistant walked in, and I'm like, "What in the heck?" I'm like right here, and he's right there, like
No way.
literally right there,
No
and I'm
way.
just like, Stevie Wonder's here,
This is
like
life.
this is Stevie Wonder actually is here, and he's come, and then he came out on stage, and then after the show, he was super cool, taking pictures, blah blah blah, hanging out, talking trash, making people laugh rather, and just man, yeah, he's hilarious, and you're gonna have your lunch with him soon.
I am. I
You are,
am.
you are,
It's gonna be the best day ever.
yeah, man. Stevie
Man,
Wonder,
don't get no
all I
better.
do. Mm-mm-mm.
And the vibrato and the gusto and the unction that he had as a young man,
Mm-hmm.
sing and writing, not just
Mm-hmm.
singing, his writing?
His writing.
Can we
Yeah.
just
Right.
appreciate the God that allowed Stevie to write the things that he has written? They're
Yeah.
timeless.
They're timeless. Every song, every album.
Every last one.
Yeah, it's timeless. He has this artist. Have you ever heard of this girl? I think they used to date. Um, what is her name?
Which one?
She wasn't a big artist, but she was. He produced her album.
She's in the Motown era.
No, it was after that.
Okay.
It was like 70s ish. What song is she on? She's on a song with him on The Secret Life of a Plant. She, she's singing with him. She's singing a duet with him on the
Oh
album.
man.
It's super good. Her tone is like she's
Mm,
perfect. But anyway, but I did some research and I think they dated. I don't know if they actually got married, but I think they dated for a while.
okay.
But yeah, but I can't. But she was somebody that's super underground. Like you wouldn't, you know what I mean? You wouldn't know who
Yeah.
she is, like because she wasn't like a household name.
Right.
But if she's one of those artists. Like if you were in that era, you would know who she was. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You know what I
Okay.
mean? But yeah, she had an album and.
Are you able to help, however, no, being in the industry
Mm-hmm,
at any capacity, whether you're fully vested as an artist, as a musician, as a producer, a director, sound man, whoever, it can be
mm-hmm,
really, really demanding,
mm-hmm.
even through the joys and the
Yeah.
accomplishments that you have, and even the people that you come across that
Mm-hmm,
have touched you in such a way, like we discussed tonight.
mm-hmm,
Have you ever had a time, Charles, where you had to be at work and be present,
mm-hmm.
but there was life was lifing and it got a grip of you, but you had to be present for the job?
So yes, the time that stands out the most is I've talked about it before. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but there was a point that a home that we were renting at one time, we lost it. This was like everything was like parallel with what was happening with our church home and everything. Like what when we was going to the church that we met at out in what's that, Lithia Springs, or Powder Springs.
Yeah.
During that time when everything was happening with the church, not, and I don't want to make the correlation like it's their fault. It's not. That's not what it is. But it was parallel. Our lives were parallel with what was happening. So that was happening, and like we lost our place to live. So the day after, we had to move in with some friends, and the four of us, the kids were much smaller during that time, of course. We knew each other during that time. They were much smaller during that time, and we moved in with some friends, and the four of us. It was a 2-bedroom apartment at the time, and our friends, they only had one kid at the time. Um, they were in one side. It was a a big apartment, but it was an apartment, and the four of us, was in the other room with a twin bed mattress that me and Shell slept on, and we made pallets for the kids. They were fine. They were small. We're having a sleepover at our friend's house. They were fine with that. Um, they didn't know what was happening. But the day after, I had to move everything, or we moved everything, put everything in storage. I had a gig with Avery Sunshine. I was filling in for my boy Q, and I was so I I thought I showed up, and it was crazy because it was in Philly. I think it was in Philly. Yeah, it was in Philly, and the show was BJ the Chicago Kid, Eric Roberson, and she closed. She actually was the headliner that night.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't nice that night because like I was so like out of it, and I didn't realize how much it affected me. I mean,
Mhm.
and it even affected me to the point that we had another show coming up, and I couldn't do the show. I couldn't do the other show because I wasn't mentally there. Um,
Mhm.
but that show, like we made it through, but it was like little stuff. Like she would cue for a hit or a stop or something, and I was just zoned out, and
Yeah.
that never happened to me before. And but I thought I could go and do it. You know what I mean? And it not have an effect on me because a week or a few days after my mom passed away, I had a show
Mm.
and I went and I did the show, you know what I mean? But I think the difference with that was my mom always said, you know, she called me by my middle name, Lamont. She's like, "Ma, go do what you do." She always encouraged me to do what I did. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about what society is saying, what they, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
how they look at music, none of that kind of stuff. Do what you do. Like, so she
Right.
always encouraged that. So my sister reminded me when I
Mhm.
started to cancel the show. She was like,
Mhm.
"You better not
Right. Yeah.
cancel the show. You better go do the show," you know, type thing. So that wasn't even as hard because I think at this point it was just like, God, you know, I know you try, I know in everything that happens, there's a lesson attached to it. But I have really have to learn this lesson now. you know,
Right.
I couldn't learn it when I was single. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was like like when I didn't have a wife and kids, you know, maybe
Right.
like it could have been a little earlier, you know what I'm
Just
saying?
a
So
little.
just a tad bit earlier, a couple years, you know, so so that was the thing. But the beauty in all of that is the fact that I'm married to the right person. Because
That
we're in this room and I'm angry and I'm like, dang, and we ended up in a situation because of my poor decision, you know, financially. At the time, my wife wasn't working. I was, you know, bringing in all the money and stuff and blah blah blah,
mhm.
and doing well, but mismanaging. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she trusted me to take care of everything, and I thought I had a handle, but I didn't. Obviously, but we ended up in the situation, and so I'm angry at myself, and I'm like, how did I let this happen? It needed to happen.
Mm.
Thank God it happened because there's lessons I learned that, you know, I would have never learned if it didn't happen. Anyway, my wife said, "Baby, God is trying to show us something. He's trying to teach us something." And she said to me, while we're in this one bedroom with all four of us, with all of our stuff, suitcases lined up around the wall of the room,
Mhm.
she says, "You're the priest of this house. The longer you stay angry, the longer we'll stay in this situation.
Mm.
Let's see what God is trying to teach us in this moment. Get the lesson so we don't have to learn it again."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's huge because there aren't a lot of people, period, that would do that. You know what I mean? But God had her here with me in this season. He chose to let me go through that in this season because he knew it wasn't going to break me. It was going to teach me something. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because if I would have been married to anybody else, or especially any of my exes that are exes for a reason,
Right.
it it would have been a disaster. You know what I mean? It would have
Right.
been, you know, and even when I listen to it and like listening to myself talk about it, it's just like, first of all, I can't even believe it actually happened. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, it was rough, but it was just like, I can't believe it actually that really happened. Like we were like legit homeless. You know what I mean? Like in real life, you know, so it's just like, wow, you know, but still had to work, still had to, you know, go out here, and I was still gigging. I didn't, nobody knew I was still playing with the corporate band and doing this and that and the third and showing up and, you know, just showing up because you have to, you know what I mean? And you just get the lesson and keep it moving. That's all.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yep. People have no
Yeah.
idea the
Yeah.
backstories behind stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That happened to who? What?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
missed out on what? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because I like when I actually started talking about it to some of my friends, they were like, and I could have, and that's the thing, I could have easily reached out to some of my friends that are well off and got out of the situation like that. God wouldn't allow me to. It was just like, it was just like, no, like you need to feel this. You need to understand this. You need to go through this. You have to, you know what I
He
mean?
made you sit in it.
He made me sit in it. It was no, I mean, even if I picked up the phone to try to call, it was just like something, it was just like, no, you can't, no. It was just like, you could feel it, the no. Like, so when I finally started talking about it, my friends would, of course, they were mad. They were angry because they was like, dog, what? Like that actually happened. First of all, I couldn't tell it was happening. Nobody could really tell that it was happening. And then second of all, it was just like, dog, like some of my friends, they were pissed. They was like, bro, don't ever like, I mean, they were like legit mad at me. Like, dog, like I want to fight you because you didn't say anything. Like you didn't even like nothing. You said nothing, you know, so and it wasn't a pride thing though. It was just like I just know I can't say anything right now. You know what I mean? Like, because the pride would make me call and be like, no, I don't want to stay at somebody. I want to get out of this situation as fast as I
Right.
can. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I've always been the type of person to do things on my own. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been the person to let somebody stay with me, or even growing up, we always had the house that people kind of rotated out of if they needed some place to stay, blah, blah, blah. I've always been on that side of it. So to be on the other side of it, it was just like, oh, that's what this feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like to have to tiptoe through somebody's kitchen, or like make sure you're doing this and make sure, you know what I mean? Like all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is how did I ever make anybody feel like this? Or did they feel like this when they stayed with me? Or like it just added a whole nother level of compassion and grace towards people that go through stuff, you know. Always having a passion for homelessness. That's always been a thing for me. But to actually get a taste of it was different. That was that was different.
I can imagine. But the gag is
It's over.
it's over.
It's over.
You grew through it. God was
Hmm.
gracious
Yep.
and you're in a much better place. And I'm so happy that the
Hmm.
both of you have each other. Y'all always have been a really good team. I've always acknowledged
Hmm.
that as a friend. You guys
Hmm.
have always been a good team unit, no matter what.
Hmm.
It's just great to see you guys doing
Hmm.
as well as you are.
Hmm.
And it's been a great conversation.
It has been.
And
It
you took
has
me
been.
back a couple times. I'm
Right.
never going to forget this episode. It's gonna stick with me for a while, and I'm so glad I could remember what you want to do for love. That was like, yeah,
Hmm.
that was gonna bug me the rest of the night.
That's a great song, and I'm definitely gonna send you the artist, the Stevie Wonder's artist that I was thinking about,
Yes,
because
please do.
you and those other two bands I mentioned. I'll send you
Yeah,
a couple things so you can check them out. Because
I'm excited about it. I know it'd
absolutely.
be a thrill. So that was a great
Hmm.
conversation. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Charles.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. We've had a great conversation. We've munched, we've drank, we've had
Hmm.
joy,
Hmm.
we've shared joy. And now we're going to get into the fun part of our episode,
Hmm.
which is happy
Let's
hour.
go. Let's go.
It's game time. Adult recess is necessary. I think you would
Hmm.
agree because
Of course.
especially if life's like it does when you have a spouse, a house,
Hmm.
kids,
Hmm.
pets, jobs,
Hmm.
bills. Adult recess is necessary because
Absolutely.
you got to make room for life, but you got to also make room for the fun.
Hmm.
Because after a while, sound like today, the day, the month, the year tried me. It
Mm-hmm.
just no. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play games. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go places.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna dance it out. We're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
our playlist together and rock out,
Absolutely.
and it's gonna get better. We're gonna dance and laugh until times get better.
Absolutely.
So that's why we incorporate happy hour with chip chat and chill, and we get into a lot of original games that I've come up with to try to
Mm-hmm.
tailor it to the episode and to the liking of the guest. So I'm going to play a few games with you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the first game I think we're going to get into tonight is going to be, oh yes, I'm excited about this one. We're going to do the artist known as Foodie.
The artist known as Food.
The artist known as Foodie, we're going to play a game. I am going to give you a description of a few artists, singers, rappers, etc. that are in the cooking, baking, restaurant game. And you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to guess who it is. Okay?
Okay.
So, the artist known as Foodie. Here is the first one for you, Charles.
All right.
This award winning singer has topped music charts, performed as one of our favorite parents on a 90s sitcom, and they are also known for their legendary baked macaroni and cheese recipe and sweet potato pie.
You said they were on a sitcom?
They were one of our favorite parents on a 90s sitcom that we all know and love. She was a mom to one of the characters on a 90s sitcom. And she makes sweet potato pies.
She was the mom to
One of the main characters on a 90s sitcom.
um
Her character was really sassy and hilarious. Her son on the show was one of the main characters. 90s sitcom, college.
oh Felicia Rashad. No, not
Close.
Felicia. Close.
Close.
I want to say
Another show.
I want to say Patti LaBelle, but
Yes.
I don't remember her
Patti.
being. I don't remember. That was the first thing that came to my head. But when you said 90s sitcom, I can't remember her being on a 90s sitcom.
Yes. Yes.
Which one was she on?
A Different World. She was Kadeem Hardison's
She was
Dwayne.
Kadeem
She was
Hardison's-
Dwayne's mother.
That's right.
Yes.
I forgot about that. I forgot. So I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was the first thing that came to my mind. But I was
Pie.
like, okay, yeah,
Yep.
Patty Pie. And when you said all of that, I was like, okay, yeah, it's Patti LaBelle. But then you said 90s sitcom. I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I remember now. All right.
Chaser for 2 extra points. Do you remember the nickname she used to call him on the show?
No. Hold on. Oh, it just came to me and left. Shoot, I can't remember. No. What was it? Chipmunk. Chipmunk. Oh man, I'm fired.
That was a good one. Okay,
That
you
was a
ready
good
for the
one.
next one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, artist number 2. This Southern rapper has known to successfully collaborate with several artists across charts. He's also starred in box office films, and he also owns a restaurant appropriately named after his track Chicken and Beer.
My black car is stolen.
Remote.
Ripped. Take it away from me. Southern rap artist, you said?
Mhm. He's in a major action movie franchise. He's been in several
Oh.
of those.
Okay. Ludacris.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yay!
Luda.
I'll give you a car back.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Artist number 3. This multi-hyphenated businesswoman began in an all-female R&B group, later becoming a well-sought-after songwriter and solo artist. She now owns a chain of restaurants serving soul food menu inspired by recipes from her aunts and mom.
Candy Burst.
Yes. Yes. I was like, I hope we get this one.
Yeah. I know about the old lady gang.
Yes. I have to get over there.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And then artist number 4. When you hear this rapper, you think of amazing sunsets, timeless collaborations, flawless lyrics, a sense of unique style, and lemon pepper wings wet, especially since he's the biggest boss of a chicken wing restaurant franchise.
Called Wingstop. Mr. Rick Ross. Rick Ross. Rick the Boss Ross.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You got all four. Good job.
Oh. Well, 3.5 because I didn't really get the patty. The patty one, I didn't.
It took you a minute.
It took me a minute. It took me a little second. Right.
It's all good. You got it. Good job. All right. That was the artist known as Foodie. I like that game. Let's see. Now, the second one, again, I'm going to have to get a little creative.
Okay.
Face card or fraud. You know how they say most celebrities or known figures, really, if I be honest, a lot of us have lookalikes. And some of them are even from like way back when.
Yeah.
Some old
years
black
ago.
and white. Listen,
Right.
it is scary.
It's scary.
So, face card or fraud. We're going to look at a few photos of a celeb lookalike, and you're going to have to guess who they look like in the photo. Who's their celeb lookalike?
Okay.
Ready?
All right, I'm ready.
And then I'm going to send it to Charles.
Send it to Charles.
Charles in charge of
my days and
my
life. I want Charles in charge of me.
You're right.
I want Charles in charge of me.
You better sing. Of me.
Of me.
You better.
You
All
gotta
right.
shake like that when you sing.
Yes.
Me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so for the first artist, I will give you some clues.
Okay.
The artist she resembles a lot, and it probably won't take you much to guess. The artist is known much for high ponytail hairstyles and her high octave singing range, which has been compared to that of Mariah Carey. She's a pop singer. Tell me who this artist resembles. And she's also been linked romantically in the past to Pete Davidson.
Oh. Ariana Grande.
Ding ding ding. Ain't that crazy? She almost looks exactly like her. This lookalike, her name is, she's actually an Instagram model. She became famous because this went viral. Her name is Paige Neiman.
Oh, dang, she look like Ariana.
Listen, if I saw her at the bank, I'd be like,
Ariana! Yeah. I love your music. Like, no, I'm an Instagram model.
Girl, you better use it.
Right.
That thing will get you places.
Right.
That face card would not decline. But she sure enough would have fooled me. I'd be like, no, that is Ariana.
That's Ariana all day.
To be.
Jeez.
Now, when you see the next one, you'll probably say the same thing, like, no way. That is the actual person. This was crazy. When I saw this one also, I'm like, it is uncanny how many people walk around with such similar faces. It really is.
It is.
So, now, this young lady, I will tell you now, she is a new mom. She hails from the islands. And she's got endless hits. At this point, she's played a very, very big stage this year. It's a pretty big deal. Why don't you take a look and tell me who is her lookalike?
The one and only Rihanna. Golly.
Right. Isn't this crazy?
This is nuts.
You could get away with a lot.
Yikes.
Get away with a lot.
Right. Come on, rude boy. Take it, shake it.
Love it.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yes. The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Insane.
Sheesh.
Yes. Her name is actually, I believe her name is, hold on. I want to say Priscilla, but I don't want to say it wrong. She's also on she's on Instagram and TikTok. Her name is Priscilla Beatrice. She's
Beatrice.
28.
Oh, okay.
And due to this whole viral thing with her being compared to Rihanna, she
Mm-hmm.
now has, or at the time of this article, 182,000 followers,
Yikes.
and pretty much about she should be at a million now. It was 844,000 on TikTok. She should be at a million now.
Wow. She got
What
that big old
happened?
forehead too. Don't,
The
don't get ahead of
chin.
yourself, Priscilla. You ahead of your time. No, let me quit. All right.
Listen, I got a
Okay.
5 head myself. It's all jokes
It's
here.
all good. It's all good. It's all. You said a 5 head. Okay.
I got a
Oh man.
head.
Well, she got a 6 head. Anyway. Oh god.
Well, let's see. There are a few more. And really, when I looked at this next one, I'm going to tell you, before I could even mouth the words or form the words, I thought this years ago, looking at especially younger pictures of the actual person and the person that she's being compared to now. They have to be long lost relatives. They have to be. Have to be. There's no way they're not related somewhere. The vicissitudes of time. They have to be blood related some way or form. Have to.
Wow.
This woman, okay, she comes from a very famous family. She was very active. Well, this current artist, I'll tell you this. This current artist, she's going to be a little bit, risque, whatever, but it's all good. Everybody loves her. And she's a very successful singer, a very successful creative director, model, you name it. She's doing all the things. So if you look at who she looks like, if you can guess who the current artist is, she's a successful businesswoman. She's a mother and a wife.
What's the girl's name?
She's married
Tiana
to
Taylor.
basketball.
Tiana Taylor. Dang,
Yes.
she looked like
she is who's look like
Dionne Warwick. This Dionne Warwick, right?
Yes.
They do look alike.
Hello, Freaky Friday. They look exactly
Yikes.
alike. Yes.
Yikes. Tiana Taylor is it gotta be like you said, they gotta be related some kind of way.
You can't tell me otherwise. Gotta be. I'm gonna do ancestry on the both of them.
Right?
There's no way. And fun fact, Dionne Warwick has asked, I believe she was approached by Netflix for them to do her documentary on her life or biopic. She
really?
Tiana Taylor play her.
Did she say that?
Say less. Yes. Say less.
That makes sense.
She's going to kill that role. I'm excited about that.
That's gonna push her into a whole nother thing. If her because she can act. Yeah, she's already an actress. So I'm tripping. Yeah.
Yes. Byron.
Byron.
She's an iconic, even for have done the things that she's done at her age. She's really, really grounded as a creative. I love it.
Yeah, she is.
I love it. She's even inspired me because shout out to her and her whole team. They do so they have the aunties. I don't know if you heard of her creative group. They are like the go-to for different type of media campaigns. So for example, she has a studio here in Atlanta, and she had a few of her creative minds that get together and they produce media campaigns. They've done one for Ciroc. She put herself in it, but she does things like that. She'll do music videos and she use her space to create similar artwork. So I'm very inspired because I hope to be able to do some similar things under Zakia Media House one day. So
nice
doing it. Yeah,
nice. That's dope.
Now this last one, this is gonna be so funny. You may or may not get it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna see.
Let's see. Let's go.
This guy. Now I'm pretty sure you'll know who's in the picture, but they're lookalike. You might stumble on. This guy, he hails from, I believe, South Africa.
Okay.
He's an accomplished artist. He's great friends with multi-hyphenated talent Janelle Monáe and has classic tailored style of clothing.
Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
Can you guess who it is? Can you guess who it is?
Okay,
We haven't heard from him in a while,
that's
too.
yeah, that's Jadena.
Yes.
But who's
And
his lookalike?
so his lookalike, I'll tell you right now, his lookalike is a rapper from LA known for being opinionated, provocative. He's a very good
Oh,
dresser.
Game. They
Yes.
do
He
look.
did-
Yikes! Yikes! They look
This is such a
alike,
fun
bro.
game to put together. I'm like, wow.
That
Yeah.
is hilarious.
The eyes, the hair,
Right,
the beard.
right. Even the mannerisms, like, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You
Yikes.
gotta check it out. I may add it in the episode, but there are some pictures that Jadena plays around and he's dressed like a gangster rapper, and
Over.
it's crazy. Yes, I was like, he looks like he could low key be the game's little brother. I was like,
That
y'all
is
play too much.
funny.
It is
That is
hilarious.
Annie used to live in Cali too, so that's make it even funnier.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that'd
Jadena
be
did.
fun.
He was in, I think when he came here, he was in Cali at first, I believe. Well, at least
Wow,
that's where he was when Janelle discovered him, I think.
discovered him.
That's mhm.
Wow,
Mhm.
yeah. Sidebar: if you haven't watched it on Netflix,
I
yes, Netflix.
have. I have, and
You
it's
know where I'm going?
amazing.
The film?
Yes.
Oh my
That
that was
that
so
film
unexpected for me.
that made her a super like this film that made her a superstar. Like she was already a star, but she's the star of the
That
movie.
was it.
I didn't know that was I was
That was the surprise I never knew I needed. That was an impeccably written plot and story, and
yes.
her role,
Her
I sat
role.
quiet for like a good 30 minutes after it was off. Mac joked me because he said, "You must have really liked that movie." I said, "Well, how could you tell?" He goes, "You shushed everybody. Every time the kids would make a noise, you would tell them to be quiet. Every time I looked over, you were looking at the screen like this."
Yeah. It was I can't even remember that. What's the name of it again?
The glass onion.
The glass onion.
You guys have to watch this movie if you haven't already. Get
Please
popcorn,
watch
whatever
it.
favorite snack you have, and really get into it.
Please.
It was such a good
I
film.
don't even want to give it away, but
No,
the action scene at the end,
yes,
I
she
was like,
aced it. She
I
gave us
said,
top tier talent. I was so
what
proud. Yes,
is happening right now? Like
yes.
that's all I could think of is like
Once the
Angelina
story
Jolie or
turns, I was
something.
like, "You
hmm
have got to be kidding me!" I enjoyed it too much.
hmm
It was really, really good.
Yes,
I love a good
the
action
whole
film.
thing.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, that was
Great job,
brilliant.
Janelle.
Great job, Janelle, on it.
Oh my goodness, that was a
hmm
great happy hour. Charles,
It
you did your
was.
thing.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
We've had our drinks. We've had our great
uh-huh.
conversation.
Yes,
We've had
indeed.
some fun doing happy hour, adult recess. Now, check please.
hmm
Charles, is there any favorite memorable part of the episode that you are going to leave with today?
I can't think of a part. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Aw.
I enjoyed the entire thing. Like just having the, just the chit chat in the beginning, and then getting into the question part and the songs and going down memory lane, and the fact that we come from similar eras is just like we have that to kind of feed off of each other, and in the happy hour, and it's beautiful. I love it. I love what you're
Oh
doing. I love
man.
what you're doing, and keep going, keep going, keep going. I love it.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I so appreciate that. I'm glad you made it.
hmm
You know,
hmm
you're right. The whole episode, I'm
hmm
taking the whole episode with me today. I'm snatching it.
Let's go.
I just want to say before we leave,
hmm
music is one of those things. It unites hearts, people, races. It heals. It's nostalgic. It's
hmm
a medium that connects us through emotion, memories, life experiences, both past and present. And if anyone was looking for a great gift to give that can be
mm
passed down, music is one of the greatest ones.
Indeed.
especially when it comes to, like we were saying, Charles and I earlier, about like holiday seasons, family traditions to get you through your hard times, get you through your great times, the birth of, a family member, anything. Music is a great gift to give and pass down. It'll never grow old. It'll always be in style. So take it with you, grow through some things, learn through some things, use lyrics and let them imitate life, and let's all jam together
Yes,
and just
indeed.
be great. If you would
Absolutely.
like to follow Charles on social media,
Hmm.
you can follow him.
You can follow me there at Charles Lamont on all platforms, TikTok, Twitter, and on Instagram. Charles Lamont Garner on Facebook.
Now tell the people about your podcast.
Oh, and you can follow my podcast at Moments with Charles Lamont. That's on Instagram and on Facebook. Yeah, and it's a pretty cool podcast. I want to have you on there,
I'm
please,
there.
ma'am.
I'm
Um,
there.
yeah, we're just talking about everything behind the music, the tough times and the great times. So yeah, so follow us, please. Moments with Charles Lamont.
We are excited for
Hmm.
the many, many more memories and many more great moments in music that you're going to be making over there and
Mm.
what you've done so far. I'm glad to see what you've done and how it's
Oh,
growing and the
thanks.
concept. I love it. The
Thank you.
artistry behind it, and just, I love honest, raw conversation. It just makes for great media and just great moments in time, I think.
Hmm. Indeed.
As usual, you all can still go ahead and follow us at Chip Chatter and Chill. My mouth is dry. I don't know how, but I'm a little parched. I probably needed to drink a little bit more water before I drink that hot cocoa, but it's all good. You can you can also follow us here, Chip Chatter and Chill on Instagram, Chip Chatter and Chill on Facebook. If you would like to write us, you can write us at chipchatterandchill@gmail.com. Thanks for all that submit questions and letters in the chat box. We love to hear from you as always. And more foodie content to come. I'll share more of the lunches and the dinners that I make, snack chronicles, and we love foodie content. We'll be going live a lot more often as well. You guys show
Nice.
up and show out when we go live. So it's great to interact with people. And
Hmm.
Charles, not only will we look forward to, I'm going to put that out there because I'm
Hmm.
Jesus' favorite. And when I ask him for stuff, he
Come
grants my
on.
request.
Come on.
Charles is going to come back
Yes.
a time or two more. However
Yes.
many, you are more than welcome to come back as many times as you like. We would love to have you. We had a great time.
Mhm.
Also, we will be hitting the street live. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to go live outside
Hmm.
and we are going to hit up some random people and we're just going to make some good random on the spot conversation, give away some
That's
things. I'm
that's
hitting the ground
amazing.
running. I'm glad you guys are out for the ride. You can find us every Thursday on all major platforms: iHeart, Spotify, Google, Apple, Pandora, you name it, you can find us, as well as the YouTube channel. Stay tuned and you'll get to see more of our lovely faces as we cackle, 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 and chip, chatter, and chill. Because
Cackle,
that's what we like
cackle,
to do.
cackle, cackle.
Cackle, cackle, cackle.
Oh
Oh
man, I
man.
love it.
Then you go to the joy store, you bring your joy and come right back over here.
Right
As I
there, it is. Come
always,
on.
always, we are welcoming you.
Yeah.
The doors of the church are open. Come on in. Love to have you.
Thank you, thank you. I love to
Thank
be
you.
back.
Yes. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. And as I always say in closing, love yourself, live well, stay positive. And when you come back, bring some friends right over here to Chip Chat and Chill, guys. Have a good one.